you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all so much. How you doing out there, Oakland? All right. You missed me yet? Now, just look at this audience. You're inquisitive, intelligent, and very attractive, might I add. You remind me a lot of myself. I said that being president was the greatest honor of my lifetime. But that was until today. Giving this TEDx talk is the biggest honor of my lifetime. All right. To check that off the old bucket list. I'm humbled and honored to share the stage with so many talented performers and speakers here today. On this historic day, just 2 days away from my all-time favorite day, Taco Tuesday. This guy knows what I'm talking about. But I'm glad I could make it here today. You may have seen on the news that the family and I just returned from a nice, relaxing vacation in my home state, where I was born, Hawaii, or, as Donald Trump pronounces it, Kenya. Now, although the last election didn't necessarily turn out the way I'd hoped, I think it's a beautiful thing that children growing up this day and age can now see that the President of the United States can be a man or a woman, black, white, or orange. Now, for generations, the United States has served as a bastion of freedom for those fleeing injustice and persecution. The Statue of Liberty has long shown as a beacon of hope to millions of immigrants arriving that you've made it, and you can now achieve your own version of the American dream. Just this morning, Donald Trump announced his new immigration policy. He said he's simply going to place a new sign on top of the Statue of Liberty that reads, "You can keep your tired and your poor, we're good." Now, under my administration, we created over 16 million jobs in the private sector. We saw a boom in small businesses. Unemployment rates were at the lowest they've been in a decade. And for the first time in history, 75% of the people in the United States made up 3/4 of our domestic population. That was a math joke. I thought you folks would get that one. It's okay. But the housing market was healing. Foreclosures were down. And it was easier than ever for millennials to move back in with their folks. I was brokering peace deals with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, and North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, or as we refer to them in the Situation Room, 2.5 men. I really like that joke. Look at how cute that little guy is. Just making his little threats. Just want to give him a little wedgie, But, unfortunately, this day and age, we see the Second Amendment in the news frequently about gun control and gun rights. Right now, we have to produce more ID to buy alcohol than you do to buy a gun in America. That's why before I left office, I issued an executive order that you cannot buy a gun without a six-pack. But Congress shot that one down. Folks, today I came to talk to you about two things: perception and image. Now, before I get to that, I just want to get a little comfortable here. Excuse me. Let's take these babies off. Whew, that's better. Hey everybody, I'm Reggie Brown. I am an actor, comedian, keynote speaker, and of course, a Barack Obama impersonator. Thank you. And while I usually travel around the country and the world sharing with audiences my story about how I became the President of the United States, it's how this little guy here became this guy. And both of those are me. But today I want to talk about perception and image because I think it's more important now than ever before that we are able to see the truth being bombarded with all of this information and misinformation. All of the reality shows that don't depict real reality. These competitions that are making us compete with each other instead of supporting each other. These internet bots and these alternate facts. But before I get to that, I want you guys to watch this video so I can go slip into something a little more comfortable backstage, take this makeup off so you can see me for who I truly am. So please enjoy a snippet of my video, Healthy. It's a little upbeat, you're gonna recognize the track, and has a few good lyrics too, so enjoy, I'll be right back.
Get outside, today's a gorgeous day. So many things to do, now get out and play. Come on, get healthy. Clap along if you feel like being healthy is for you. You should be healthy. Run around the block 10 times and you will feel brand new. Because I'm healthy. I take the stairs cause I don't want those elevator blues. Okay, now you're healthy. Run along and tell your friends these simple things to do. Here comes bad food and here comes bad snacks. Yeah. But don't be a fool, don't eat none of that. No. Eat something green, maybe a cup of fruit. Yeah. Trust me, it's cool. Now come on, let's move. Come on, get healthy. Clap along if you feel like being healthy is for you. You should be healthy. Run around the block 10 times and you will feel brand new.
I hope you guys like that little fun project I did a couple years ago. I'm going to talk a little bit about perception and image because, first of all, how many people when I first hit the stage thought that I really was President Obama coming up? Perfect. That's a great ratio. And I have no idea what I look like right now, just to let you guys know. That was the quickest makeup removal I've ever done. So I might look a little weird. But so for the past 8 years, I've been very fortunate to travel around the world being paid by some of the top companies and corporations to do what I did here today, to fool people by presenting a false image to them, to throw off their perception. But when you saw me come out, you felt something not only in your body, but in your mind and in your emotions that connected with what you saw to how you feel about President Obama. And that happens to me all the time. This is basically what everybody wants after I'm done performing, the Obama selfie. And sorry I'm out of makeup already, but everyone here could have gotten one today. But it's very valuable for a lot of people that like to fool their friends. I travel all over doing that. I'm also paid to entertain people who have entertained us. This is me and Tom Hanks a few years ago after I roasted Les Moonves and honored his wife, Rita Wilson. I've also played Obama on some of our favorite television shows. This was me on Hannah Montana, me in Barbershop 3, if anyone's seen that. I was the Obama in the end. Nobody really knows that. I played, this is me and Brad Pitt, behind the scenes of War Machine, shot in London. This is me at the Republican Leadership Conference in 2011. This is me getting kicked off stage at the Republican Leadership Conference in 2011. Oh yeah. That was awesome. And I've been able to travel to over 20 countries around the world, 21 if you consider the US Virgin Islands a separate country like Trump does. But this is taken with a crew in Tokyo, and I've been able to meet amazing, amazing people around the world. It's one of the best parts of my job. This is from Obama Gangnam Style. Got over 100 million hits in the first few months, 30 million alone in China the first week, by altering people's perception based on the image I was pushing out. I've performed with real-life political figures and real-life political impersonators like this Kim Jong-un, my friend Howard. But I'm starting to run short on time, so I got to stick to it here. But I'm hired by your average Joes and your plain Janes, by the U.S. military, special forces, people on their deathbeds that want to meet the president before they die, millionaires and billionaires like my friend John Paulson. But it's people like this that make my job worthwhile. And I don't remember this woman's name, but someone once said that it's not remembering someone's name that matters, it's remembering the way they made you feel. And this woman, when she saw me, knocked over her purse, spilled it all over the ground, and this hug lasted for about 3 minutes as she sobbed on my shoulder and told me how much I meant to her, her family, and the direction of the world. And I know that she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to President Obama, the image that I presented to her. And that happens a lot, the good and the bad. Unfortunately, not everyone feels the same way I do about President Obama, and I hear about it, trust me. But I don't mean to alarm you, but I want to tell you something that I think needs to be addressed, and that is you are being judged. I'm being judged. It's something that we constantly do to ourselves on a daily basis, and we need to be aware that things are not always what they seem. It's the proverbial tip of the iceberg, but I wanted you to experience that feeling today to see how strongly your body, your mind, and your emotions can tell you something's true, and in the end, it may not be that way. So dig deeper and don't just look at the surface of things. Look beyond that, because right now we're being bombarded with commercialism and marketing and all these things they want us to seem important in our lives. But as a few of the other speakers said here today, these human connections that we have are the most important things that we can have in our lives. Money is man-made. Cars and clothes and all these things are. I saw some of the happiest people I've ever seen 2 months ago when I was doing a promotional tour in India. These kids were running around like it was the best day of their lives. They were butt naked, covered in dirt. There were pigs and cows and everything in the street. They had no idea what they were missing out on because they were just enjoying the true essence of life. Carefree. I wish I could be like that. I mean, I get treated differently when I walk around looking like this, like I do on a daily basis, to when I look like this. And it even happened backstage. I've been here all day, and until I became Obama a few minutes ago, no one wanted a picture with me. I was just walking by, oh, looking forward to later, man, looking forward to seeing you. And then, once I become the president, everyone wants to be close, they want the picture, they want to fool people, and that makes me sad. What about me, man? It really doesn't make me sad. It did at a certain point, but I'm over it now. But I just want to touch on a couple other things before I go, and it's what you think becomes your reality. And that is true in so many senses of this simple statement. If you think about life in a positive way, don't be afraid of your next day, the next challenge. Always go with a positive attitude. You will typically have a positive outcome. Real quick, how many people have taken a picture and then judged yourself and said, oh, I look out of shape, I'm ugly, I look stupid wearing this? Could you just raise your hand? Because I think it's pretty much everyone here. Well, I have a picture like that too, and I want to show it to you right now for 2 reasons. Boom! This is me when I was around 20 years old and I was modeling. I was so confused, I had no idea who I was on the inside. I was trying to show everyone I'm cool and look at me, I'm in good shape. I had no idea about who I was or what mattered. And I thought I was out of shape in this picture, and I wasn't even skinny enough to do some jobs looking like this. And now I look back at this picture, and I'll never look like that again, and that's why I wanted to show it to you guys. I think I look all right in this picture, but I didn't think so back then. So just think about how often we do that to ourselves and to each other. We put each other down instead of building each other up, and now more than ever, it's so important to be there for the person next to you. Don't compete. Don't bring them down to a place of comfort for you. Let's build each other up and help each other achieve the excellent person that we're here to be. And before I go, I want to leave you with something that was said by someone who was very, very important to me in my development in life, and that was Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he said that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I really want you guys to take that, look him up, because he was a master to me. But yes, please be the best person you can be, live the best life, and treat each other with kindness and respect. Thank you very much.